Rebonjour. Rebonjour les amis. I am in Paris somewhere. High up, high up. Bonjour, bonjour. Does anybody know where I am? Above the crazy traffic, above the crazy city. I am standing on top of the Arc de Triomphe, my friends. I didn't have a reservation, but I was able to get up here. I thought I would share the sights with you. The sun's been playing hide and seek, but hopefully we'll get to see a few things. Right now we're looking west, full west. This is La Défense, the Paris business district you see in the distance. The end of what the French refer to as the historic axis, l'axe historique, which connects the Louvre to the business district you see in the distance. We have several arches along the way, and this is the most imposing one. Well, if you don't count the one over there, La Défense, the great arch of La Défense. But the Arc de Triomphe is a pretty big one too. We're standing at 50 meters right now. Not quite sure what that is in feet, but that's pretty high. High enough. So I'm going to start walking so you can enjoy some of the sights. Now they have those things here to stop people from jumping, I suppose. So it's not super easy to live stream. We are standing in a big square in Paris known as the Place de l'Étoile or Place Charles de Gaulle. It's at the intersection of 3 of the arrondissements in Paris, including my old arrondissement, the 17th, which you see here in the distance. This is the new Préfecture de Police, this modern building you see right there. So this is the 17th arrondissement we're looking at. Earlier we were looking at the 16th arrondissement, looking towards La Défense, the nicer parts of Paris, very affluent part of Paris, the 16th. The 17th is here, and as we veer towards the Champs-Élysées, we will be in the 8th. Now with this setup, we can't really enjoy the traffic down below, which is a shame because it's always so much fun to watch. But at least we enjoy the views. Now check this out. We see Montmartre in the distance over there. Do you see Montmartre? Right about there. I cannot zoom on Facebook, I'm sorry, but the zooming function is not that reliable. So hopefully you can see La Butte de Montmartre, the hill with the Sacré-Cœur, the church on top of it. And this glorious Parisian architecture gives you a good feel for how orderly, how uniform all these avenues are, all these buildings around the Arc de Triomphe. Remember, there are 12 avenues linking up here in the center where the Arc de Triomphe is located. And these avenues are named after Napoleon victories, after famous Frenchmen as well, like Victor Hugo. One is named after Napoleon's army, La Grande Armée. And there are 12 of them, which gives, of course, completely crazy traffic as you go around the Arc de Triomphe. Imagine 12 avenues opening on this big square, which is really a roundabout, except there are no markings on the pavement. It's the only roundabout in France where people who come in have right of way. And there are so many accidents that insurance companies will split up responsibility evenly. Not heavenly, but evenly in case of an accident. 50% for one driver, 50% for the other driver. They just don't even want to try and understand what happened. Because people go really fast around this roundabout. You can still see Montmartre in the distance. So Montmartre, of course, is north of Paris. I hope you've enjoyed the other live streams I did this morning earlier when I was on my way to a really good exhibit I saw at the Paris Hotel de Ville. And the replays are on this page. Eventually they'll make their way on YouTube, of course. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, I would really do it, because you have a lot of virtual stroll replays, not just in Paris, but all over France. Hours and hours of virtual travel you can catch on the France with Véro YouTube channel. This is the Champs-Élysées, of course. They say it's the most famous or the most beautiful avenue in the world. And in the distance, at the very end, is the Louvre. The Louvre Museum, the Tuileries Gardens, the other end of that historic axis, l'axe historique. Not too much traffic right now, it's Saturday afternoon. Bonjour à tous, welcome if you just joined us. We are standing on the top of the Arc de Triomphe, 50 meters above the street. And I am trying to walk around it. We have quite a few visitors here today. I was really surprised. There was a line downstairs. This is the first time I've seen tourists lining up in over a year, or since last summer at least. Yeah, the sun's playing hide and seek with us. It was prettier this morning, but c'est la vie. And here is, of course, Mademoiselle Eiffel, the Eiffel Tower. The Arc de Triomphe is one of my favorite views in Paris. People will recommend other views probably, but this is one of my favorites because you feel like you're really close to the Eiffel Tower here. And you can see so many Parisian landmarks on a clear day. So let me get off this thing. See, I'm walking on a kind of a raised section here, and I'm going to jump off because there are a lot of people, so I'm going to try and get closer. This is the building, and inside the building, of course, you have a museum. And if you want to come up here, you need to climb about 300 stairs, just a little under 300 stairs. There is an elevator, but they won't let anyone use it unless they have a good reason. So you need to negotiate your way into that, health reasons and so forth. Let's go back to the Champs-Élysées. You see the Tour Montparnasse, the most famous eyesore in Paris. It sits on the left bank in the 14th arrondissement, so we're looking at the left bank. The golden dome of the Invalides, les Invalides, next to it on the left. Bonjour and rebonjour, friends. And Mademoiselle Eiffel right there. Let me try and walk my way through this. Not as easy as I expected with those big spikes they've put up. I haven't been up here for a little while. There she is. Let's see. Pardon, monsieur? There you go. Now you can see her pretty well. It's really pretty because the trees are in... We didn't have any colors when I walked around the Arc de Triomphe a few months ago and I was alone out here. But now we have all the trees lining up those 12 avenues around La Place de l'Étoile, or the Place Charles de Gaulle as it's known. So to come here, you ride Metro Line 1 and your stop is Étoile, Charles de Gaulle Étoile. Do not try and cross, of course, the street. To get here, you need to use an underground tunnel that you access, like the metro. And there are signs, it's clearly indicated. In the distance over there, I don't know if you can see it, there is this big, it's like a Montgolfière, that balloon above the Parc André Citroën on the left bank. Yeah, the spikes are new, aren't they? Or fairly new, I guess. I mean, the view is amazing. It's spectacular from here. It really is. The only drawback, like I was saying, is you can't really see the traffic down below anymore. See, if you try to look down, you have not only the spikes blocking you, but also this beautiful architecture here. So it's really hard to see. But that's okay. I think it's best to be up here. I don't do that every day. Now this mountain or hill you see over there is Suresnes, which is in the western section of Paris. Yes, you can see the Sacré-Cœur cat. I just showed it, so you'll need to go back to the replay. I just walked around and yes, you could see the Sacré-Cœur. This is really pretty here with the Eiffel Tower. So yes, I had to climb over 270 stairs to get up here. Slowly, you do it in sections because you have 2 floors where the museum is and you can stop and breathe. Or you can ride the elevator like I was saying, but not everybody can use it. So it has become more accessible. Oh, you crossed the street, huh? Yeah, I bet your teacher was very upset with you. That's extremely dangerous. They go really fast, which is the big problem. And we are back where we started here, looking full west along the Grande Armée, Avenue de la Grande Armée, named after Napoleon's army. And this is the business district of La Défense with La Grande Arche, one of 3 monumental archways in Paris. This one was added in the 80s during the Mitterrand presidency. So the entrance fee for adults is 13 euros. I didn't pay anything because I have a card with this organization, which is called le Centre des Monuments Nationaux. This is an organization that is part of the French Ministry of Culture. They are in charge of about 80 to 100 landmarks and monuments all over France. They handle the renovations, the restorations when needed. There are quite a few in Paris, of course. This is one of them, which means I got in for free. And then there are lots of others around France, including in the Loire Valley where I live, so I'll be making the most of it too. And the Mont Saint-Michel as well is one of them. So this is one of the passes you can get if you don't want to pay an entrance fee everywhere. And if you know you're going to be traveling a lot around France, then that's certainly a good investment. Hopefully the mic is not picking up too much of that wind. Wish the sun wasn't hiding like this. It was glorious earlier. Let's see, here's a ramp. So you can see they've really tried to make this monument much more accessible than it was with the elevator and the ramps. That's a big, big problem in Paris. Yes, the Marianne was fixed. That was broken by les Gilets jaunes during the riots in 2018. That has been fixed, indeed. All the damage has been fixed, yes. So you probably know the story of the Arc de Triomphe. I'll go back to the Montmartre section for those of you who missed it the first time. Originally, this building was commissioned by Napoleon I after his victory in Austerlitz. He wanted a monument to honor his soldiers. And so he commissioned it in 1806. He never saw it completed. He was able to walk under it and a mock version of it when he married his second wife a few years later. But then he was defeated and the monument was more or less abandoned during the period known as the Restoration. But the last king of the French, who was Louis Philippe, completed it 20 years after Napoleon started it in 1826. And so that's when the Arc de Triomphe was completed. And of course it's become, you see Montmartre up there? You asked for it? There you go. Sorry, I can't zoom on Facebook. So this monument and the avenue leading to it, one of them, which is the Champs-Élysées, have become really very important in French life. A lot of events get celebrated here, athletic events. July 14th, the national holiday, the national holiday. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can buy that pass in many different, as long as you go to one of the landmarks that are covered under the pass, you can go to their website and then you can see the list and then go to one of those monuments and probably you should be able to buy the pass at the monument. I'm looking at my old neighborhood now, the 17th arrondissement that I just left a month ago with the new préfecture right there. I lived there for 7 months and now I live in the Loire Valley and I get to be a tourist in Paris again, which is wonderful. I had forgotten how much fun it was to be a tourist in Paris. Actually, I find it a lot more fun than living in Paris, to be honest. I'll show you the Eiffel Tower one last time before we wrap up. We're back at the Champs-Élysées now and the Louvre. Yeah, the sounds of Paris, not just the traffic, but the sirens, it's constant. So it's been a fun 2 days in Paris. A lot of you have been following me on Facebook, Instagram, and my club members, of course, had their special stroll along the Seine River on the 2 islands on YouTube last night. I see them, they're going down the Champs-Élysées. Actually going up the Champs-Élysées. You miss those sounds, huh? I don't miss them when I'm on terrace and I'm trying to have a nice meal and they zoom by your table. Let's see if I can say a quick little hello. So I'm about to head back to the suburb where my parents live, and I'm going to spend the next couple days with my family for special celebrations. They all live in and outside of Paris. So I hope you've enjoyed everything I've shared on Facebook. You have a lot of replays here, and they will be on YouTube eventually. I'm planning to keep doing this, not just in Paris, but also in my area, in the Loire Valley and around France, like I did last summer, and to continue blitzing through those destinations and share as much as I can with you. I am a tour guide, and I have a tip jar on PayPal. All that information will be in the video notes as soon as I come off the air. But if you really want to support this business, France with Véro, and encourage me to do more of these visits, not just in Paris, but other cities, I recommend you look into the France with Véro club. I have over 600 club members. I think they are pretty satisfied with the content I create for them weekly. All the exclusive content they get to share on Patreon, patreon.com/FrenchGirlInSeattle. So thank you for doing that. I'll give you one last peek at the beautiful Mademoiselle Eiffel, right there. And now you can tell your friends you've been on top of the Arc de Triomphe with Véro. One of the most famous landmarks in the world, and certainly one of the most famous ones in Paris. Thank you, Kat. Thank you for the support. Very much appreciated. All right, friends, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Gonna head back to my hotel, pick up my suitcase, and go meet my parents and spend some time with my family now. Thank you very much. I will see you soon. À bientôt.